It is about the numbers. It is about defence. I think the single thing that the Wallabies need to improve, because this Wallaby team has got points in them, is trying to restrict the All Blacks to less than 20 points. The All Blacks lose more often when of course they do. And the Wallabies win a lot more when they can keep teams under that 20 points. I mean, I know that's obvious, but it's so hard to do. However, the Wallabies showed examples, particularly in the first half, at how good they actually were at defending. And I thought their defence was some of the best that I've seen from this Wallaby team, probably since 2015. Their ability to work, to make a line, to move forward and make their tackles when they had to be selective about when they move forward. Just watch them all coming off the line. Look at that line. It's beautiful. It's a thing of beauty. It's disciplined. It's players talking, communicating. Their shape's great. They're all working together. And it leads to these sorts of opportunities. Be patient. Don't rush out of the line. And eventually when an error gets made at a breakdown from the All Blacks, a guy like David Pocock can jump in, steal and make something of it. I mean, this is stuff that should be bread and butter for the Wallabies. Set-piece defence again. Wallabies make really good reads here. They understand it. Just look at that line, right? First three guys coming off. Bernard Foley leaves it up. Kurtley Beale makes a decision. Reece Hodge makes a decision. It's perfect. They catch them just on the gain line, which is really, really hard to do. It brings the back row into play. Boom. David Pocock gets there, makes a half hit on Aaron Smith, and then Michael Hooper and Kurtley Beale track down Beauden Barrett.
Nearly weasel strip there.
Almost the weasel strip. It does leads to a turnover, Gregs. Look.
It's beautiful.
Did that line speed, did that stop midway through the second half?
Well, I'm not certain whether it stopped in midway through the second half, but I had the feeling their line speed was controlled and disciplined, and players were they were in that zone. They were moving forward. It was some of the best defence that you can possibly imagine, Gregs, and you're one of the greatest defenders of all time.
But then sometimes, like when you do that, with panic, with a bit of fatigue, not panic, with fatigue and with they were defending for long periods of time, someone thinks they have to solve it by themselves. Yeah. And then when you have the missed tackle there, that's when it starts to hurt, and that's when it starts to play with the players' minds. And maybe they don't have that trust, maybe they don't have that line integrity, which is really, really important to keep knocking them off.
Yeah, the clarity that they needed, Nick, was actually in what we call transition defence, turnover defence, when the ball gets lost. And here you'll see Waisake Naholo ripped the ball off Marika Koroibete, and all of a sudden the All Blacks got the ball. You get the ball going from attack into defence. And if you just have a look here, and we'll take it back in a second, and I just want you to roll it back, and I just want to have a bit of a squiz at Sekope Kepu in the middle there. He ends up walking. We go back a little bit further. You watch Sekope Kepu, the ball's gone. He's walking. This is the point where players have to connect. They have to get their spacing right. Have a look where Bernard Foley is, where Michael Hooper is. We've got players running over the top of each other. Now watch this moment here. If we stop there, you'll see Michael Hooper. Roll it back a little bit for me, Mr. Controller. Perfect. There is Michael Hooper and Bernard Foley. That is classic disconnection. They're both facing each other, and you've got no chance of defending what happens on the outside.
Are we able to roll these back to the start of it again? I just noticed something I wanted to...
You can do whatever you like.
We roll it back to the start of this turnover. We're not doing it.
Yeah, here we go.
Here we go. Right. So just have a look at Rodder, where he comes in the line. This is where, if you get a turnover, you got to defend a width. And have a look where Rodder comes in the screen now. He just slowly jogs in between 2 and 3, number 4 on your screen. He's got to get outside Tom Robertson. That's where he's got to sprint. Because it all starts there. One pass beats 5 players there.
Yeah, turnover ball, you got to get on your bike.
Yeah, you do.
You can't get on your bike and you got to work. And if you be a little bit passive on the edge, then you allow connection. But if you're not doing that, and that's when people think they have to solve it by themselves, and you leak like a sieve.
That's right, and that's what happened. Jack Goodhue scores his first try, and it's a runaway, and it could have been probably dealt with. Retallick makes the turnover here, and I'll show you this again. Retallick makes this, and he'll end up scoring off this little play. Now watch, Alan Alatoa comes out of the line. He's thinking, I've got to solve the problem, Greg. Exactly what you said. Yeah. I'm fresh, I'm ready. See that hole? Where is he? He came out of position between Tolu Lado and Robertson, and look, that's exactly where he was standing, in that gap that he just tried to do it on his own. Didn't connect with players around him, and all of a sudden this will lead to another try. It's that understanding of what to do. And what I saw was, in the second half, this sort of panic come in. The first half, the Wallabies were beautiful. They were controlled. They were disciplined. They understood it. Second half, they couldn't get it together. And you know what? Even Adam Coleman said that he felt like that as well.
We knew if we turned the ball over, they're a great side that will hurt you. We gave them some easy outs in the second half, and they capitalised on that. In Test footy, you can't really afford to do that. Making sure when we scramble, we're scrambling back a lot more urgent than we are. It'll go a long way into making those tackles.
Well, the fix isn't that hard because we know that they can do it. In fact, in the second half, in the 65th minute, the Wallabies still had the ability to do this. So watch Bernard Foley and the work that he does, and watch Reece Hodge again there. I'll tell you, he's trying to solve the problem himself. Reece Hodge misses that opportunity. The All Blacks go 75 metres. And every single Wallaby player, the thing I love about this, look at the blokes in gold. Look how hard they're working. Watch Reece Hodge come from the back and get in line. Watch Bernard Foley, number 10. Just watch the effort that they put in after having to run 75 metres. Bernard Foley makes the tackle 5 out from the line. And now watch the Wallabies. Within one phase, they've got everyone back on the line and they're set. And you know what they do? They're so knackered, they just stay in the line. Nobody thinks about coming out. They think, let's make our tackles.
Integrity, isn't it?
It's in line integrity, it's discipline. Then Michael Hooper says, I've got a bit of a sniff here, gets off the line, takes the intercept, and this will lead to Jack Maddox's try. Now, I know this is one moment in a game, but you know what it tells me? It tells me a lot about the courage in the side. It actually tells me that this team has got the capacity, capability and discipline, Griggs, to get a job done.
And they can make that adjustment to say, hey, let's not solve it by ourselves. Let's trust what we can do. We prove that it works.
Yep.
There's a good example of it. The first 38 minutes, bar the missed tackle by Luke and Tui on Ben Smith, they're doing some good things. The challenge, we always say this, is sustaining that for the full entire match.